Say goodbye to the grocery store. Hello to HelloFresh. Healthy ingredients, easy to follow recipes. Limited time, $30 off your first box. Free shipping to HelloFresh.com/Colin. Listen, I'm not yelling conspiracy. I'm yelling incompetency. There's a big difference. I feel like the NBA officials butchered this series, and I can't blame Cleveland. I think Cleveland had game one, and the refs stole it from them. Listen, I'm not a conspiracy theory guy. The NBA's not working against LeBron James. That's not what I'm claiming. That's what fans do, conspiracy theories. I'm just yelling incompetency. Essentially, the referees, let's go back to game one. This would be called an illegal search if you were in law enforcement. You couldn't get a warrant to get into this house. They basically said, restricted area, we want to look at a review. Nobody thought LeBron was in the restricted area. Then they used that as entry to reverse a charging call. Again, you couldn't get a search warrant if you were in law enforcement. That was bogus. First of all, it's bogus on a judgment call to use replay to turn it around a judgment call. But it's a completely bogus argument. They butchered it. The NFL does it right. The NBA butchered it. They basically used a false argument to reverse a call that was a judgment call. Doesn't matter if you think it's right or wrong. They should never have been able to go to replay. And I look at this thing, Golden State's first 5 baskets last night were all dunks and layups. Cleveland shot. And I think it's very difficult. I came into this series, by the way, I'm not trying to be right. I came into this series and I told you, Golden State's going to win in 4 or 5. So that call went the way I should want it to go. I don't believe there's a conspiracy theory against LeBron. In fact, I overwhelmingly on this show defend officials. You know, people are always banging on conspiracies and the NBA. And for, I've been doing this 20 years. I'm always laughing at it. I'm like, it's the dumbest thing in the world. But I just think there is incompetency. And I think the refs were incompetent. We've seen Super Bowls with bad calls, game one. And I think what's happened in this, we all knew Houston at Golden State was essentially the finals. We all kind of felt that, right? You felt it, I felt it, everybody felt it. They have a better team. And we all knew that Cleveland had virtually no chance to win this finals. They needed real breaks. But they earned game one. And the refs stole it from them on what I consider to be almost an illegal search, which is they called something they should not have been able to call because the argument to review it was completely and utterly and visually bogus. And I think Cleveland, generally fans, you'll see fans sometimes when they get down in a series, fans think it's a foregone conclusion. Very rarely do you see a team that feels like it's a foregone conclusion. And when I saw that video come out early this morning of LeBron on the bench after game one regulation as they go to overtime and how freaked out and ticked off he is. And then I watched the effort last night when I combined LeBron going to overtime where he knew he was in trouble against a better team. And I'm watching last night in that first half, and there's no juice by Cleveland. They've got no energy. By the way, it feels like something was stolen from them. And if you feel like something was stolen from you, it is daunting. I got to be honest with you. I got my car broken into last night, sitting in front of my house. So I drove, as I walked out this morning at 5:45 in the morning, I look in, my car's ransacked. And I'm sitting there, a million things going through my head, my family, my car, my stuff, and it was in my head for an hour. I'm sitting there thinking, so you don't think professional athletes, short careers, the world's watching? That was just my car. They didn't even get anything because I don't keep anything in my car. But when you're on national TV, you outplay a team, you're on the road, you're a massive dog, and the refs steal it from you and pull it out from you, yeah, I think it's hard to overcome. And by the way, thought the Warriors were going to win anyway. This is not me being conspiracy guy trying to win an argument. The play that was reversed goes in my favor. But it was a bad call. It was bad, and it was a bogus way to reverse a call. And I think they butchered the series. And I'm a ref defender. I think they have butchered the series. Jenny Taff for the news.
No. Heard on the news. This is the Herd Line News.
First, Colin, sorry about your car. That's a horrible way to start the morning.
It was really, really a bad way
horrible way to start the day.
It is. I came down and I'm like, and I like my car every day and I keep nothing in it, right? And I'm like,
But still.
You're violated. It's
Violated.
Yeah.
Doesn't
gross.
feel good. I'm sorry. Well, I'm glad that they didn't take anything. All right. So we're talking about the fact that the Cavs, after the loss last night, you said it, they didn't really have that juice, that something. I think we were all watching, hoping they could get it together, but I think the way they lost game one, they just couldn't come over it. Couldn't get over it. So LeBron, after the loss last night, was asked if he still enjoyed the competition despite losing. And as you can imagine, he didn't love the question. This is what he had to say.
Absolutely not. I mean, it sucks to lose. It sucks when you go out there and you give it everything that you have, and you prep, and your mind is in it, and your body is in it, and you come out on a losing end. But nothing would ever take the love of the game away from me. I think the competition is something I live for, something I wake up every day and train my body for and train my mind for.
I'm always a little critical of reporter questions. I know at this point they're asking everything. They're just trying to get them to say something. But no one likes to lose.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yeah, when I hear all these people say, the Patriots, it's no fun. Winning the AFC every year is fun. Don't kid yourself. Winning is fun. Losing stinks in life and in sports.
It's always going to be fun. All right, let's stick to a little bit more from LeBron. We know Game 3, Wednesday night, back at home. Can they do something to change this around? Switch the script, if you will. Well, LeBron is saying that the way they can do that is by staying uncomfortable. Here's a bit more what he said.
We want to continue to be uncomfortable. Just because we're going home don't mean we can relax. And this is the last team in the world that you want to relax against. They've proven that they can win on someone else's floor, no matter if it's through adversity, as people may call it, when they were going through the Rocket series or whatever the case may be. They proved they can win on someone else's floor and do it in any fashion, in any way. So, I will continue to stay uncomfortable, and I hope our guys continue to stay uncomfortable, no matter what else going back home.
Do you think going home is going to make a difference?
I think Cleveland, I think Game 3 is the game that Golden State generally loses. Golden State has to win 2 of the next 5 games.
Yeah.
I think they're going to with Game 7 at home. But I do think Game 3, Cleveland will play really well. I think, they'll get out of the Bay, they'll get home, they'll play with a great deal of pride. I don't see LeBron getting swept.
Okay.
But I do feel like there's kind of an emotional thing going on last night, and they had no energy for chunks in that game.
It was like the body language that you pointed out was pretty telling.
It was. LeBron played a pretty good first half, but he didn't feel. Kevin Love was the only member of the Cavs last night that I thought was all in, all aggressive, start of the game.
And finally, Tristan Thompson was asked following the game a few different questions that he didn't really like. First of all, he was asked about the officiating, which there has been some frustrating calls there, but he was also asked if the Cavs felt helpless at times guarding Steph Curry. This was what he had to say to that.
I'm over the referee. At the end of the day, if you don't give effort and you don't play hard, you never give yourself a chance to win. No. You did a good job. I'm switching on, I'm guarding, so I ain't never helpless with no guy in the NBA. Next question. Thanks, everybody.
How tedious are these questions for the Cavaliers? Are just so over it. But, listen, here's the other thing, is these guys have been in 4 straight finals, so, it's like you're getting asked the same questions by the same people, and, I feel bad for Cleveland right now. It's a frustrated team that thinks they got something stolen from them, and I feel bad for Cleveland. I really, really do, because I think this series should be 1-1, and they should feel great about themselves. And I don't know if they can recover. I really don't know if they can.
Someone has to be the one to get them past that. At some point, you have to have a guy who's going to say, we need to move on from this. The reporter questions, they need to ask that. I feel bad for reporters because you're in that position a lot. I know you know that. I've had to ask those tough questions, but it's kind of disrespectful at the same time.
Yeah, he was swearing and stuff, Jenny with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Lie News.
Let's bring him in. Falling into bed takes a whole new meaning. Try yours. 100 nights free shipping. Casper.com, code HERD. Casper.com, code HERD. Get you $50 off a mattress. Did you sleep well?